Mario, what's up you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about why I believe the stock market is finally beginning to find a bottom, growth stocks specifically, and which of those growth stocks I'm personally excited to buy right now. Alright, so to kick off the video, we are going to be referencing a quote by the great Oracle of Omaha himself. Reference some words of the wise, because at times like these, when there's so much mania and emotion present, you got to stay grounded and you got to reference, once again, some words of the wise, okay? Also, because that quote perfectly complements the CNN S&P 500 Fear and Greed Index, which we will be taking a look at to complement this quote, and also is one of the bases, a very simple base, but one of the bases for my macro argument as to why I believe a bottom is a lot closer than it is further. All right, so that is again how we will be kicking off the video after we cover this, after we talk about the Fear and Greed Index and how that plays into the psychology of the markets. I do want to read a little bit of the intro that I wrote in this morning's newsletter and sent out to the portfolio family. Okay, over the course of this intro, I did cover some of my macro thoughts, some of my just thoughts around how I've been trading this market personally, but I also talk about a few of the names that we're going to be diving into right after, and what I call the MVPs of this market right now, and we will use that to segue into talking about those three names. All right, so that's a simple breakdown of the video. Let's get into it, you guys. Before we do, please give the video a like if you took advantage, if you were a shark in these bloody waters, and if you took advantage of some of the crazy, again, irrational even sell-offs that we saw across the market today. Give the video a like. Let me know in the comments down below what you were picking up, and also let me know, pray to God that you guys were hedged with me with put options and short positions going into today. Okay, so that's that, you guys. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I know times suck right now, but again, you guys, that's just the nature of the beast. That's the nature of cyclical markets, and times will get better. You just got to keep your head up and build that emotional and psychological resilience if you want to spend a lot of time in this game as a trader or investor. Okay, times like these are very important, arguably more important than the good times. Anyone can make money during the good times, but again, it takes skill, it takes discipline, it takes grit, and it takes willpower, strong tummy for sure, to stick around and even make money during times like these. Okay, so PSA aside, let's dive into, once again, words of the wise. Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett. Be fearful when the markets get greedy, and be greedy when the markets get fearful. Okay, this is a quote I've referenced many times on this channel, many times in the newsletter, and I'm sure you've heard it before, but again, you guys, it's so important to stay grounded and definitely stay optimistic, but stay grounded, stay rational, and again, it's easy to panic when everyone else is panicking, and it's easy to panic when you see, thankfully, I hope this isn't many of our cases, this is not my case personally, when you see your portfolio bleeding out, especially the crypto portfolio right now with everything that's going on with Terra and just the clouds over the crypto market, Coinbase as well. It's very easy when you see your net worth evaporating in front of your eyes to panic and sell into that and just kind of fall into that despair and sell. And I do feel for all the people who are going through those emotions right now. But again, that's when it's especially important to stay grounded and stay rational and remind yourself of quotes like these from those who have been through the ringer. Because, I mean, Buffett is as literally as veteran as it gets in this trading game. Okay, so again, fearful when the markets get greedy, and greedy when the markets get fearful. So now is the time to get greedy if we are basing the market's fear gauge off the S&P 500 Fear and Greed Index. So I believe there are 7 or 8 indicators that go into dictating the Fear and Greed Index. I'm not exact. You can just go Google the Fear and Greed Index. It shows you how it breaks down the levels of fear present in the market. But the S&P 500, which is pretty much the benchmark for the U.S. equity markets, S&P 500, obviously like the 500 largest market cap stocks in the United States, that's the reason that is obviously the benchmark for the U.S. equity market. Again, we are focusing on growth stocks just because that's what we focus on more on this channel. But again, this S&P 500, once the generals are shot, the war is over. That's another phrase I've been repeating a lot. And the S&P 500 is the ultimate general. So once that sees a full correction, once that bottoms out, it's very likely that the rest of the market will, most of the market, I should say, of course, there's going to be caveats, but most of the market, the majority of the market, especially some of these companies that are solid that we will be covering after this, will bottom out as well. Okay, so regardless, the S&P 500 Fear and Greed Index is now showing a read of 19, which falls under extreme fear. I did put this in the newsletter just a few trading sessions ago, and I talked about how when we were at I think we were at 30, low 30s, high 20s. I said that my benchmark personally for when I believe we would see a bottom is when we finally see extreme fear. We need to see that 15 to 20 range, okay? And now we are perfectly in there. Granted, I'm not saying that the floor is here just yet, okay? Maybe we do see more downside. There's a lot of fear in the air, and fear overpowers rationale in the markets any day of the week, okay? But we are a lot closer than we are further, because I don't think at any point in history we have gotten to zero, okay? We have not gotten to extreme fear. Could this get to 15? Absolutely. Could it get to 12? Absolutely. But I do not think this will go into single digits. That's very rare, even for like Bitcoin. You may have seen this. I've referenced this a lot in a lot of Bitcoin videos in the past. The Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, even Bitcoin doesn't go into single digits. So I don't think that's possible personally, especially for the S&P 500. But again, once the S&P corrects completely, that is when I think the market as a whole will definitely be bottoming out and finding its floor, and we are very, very close to that. Again, the caveat, this could always go further because emotion and fear is present, but we can't go that much further. Okay, so that's that, you guys. Let's segue that into reading over this so we can use this to segue into the 3 stocks that we're going to be talking about and why. Okay, so damn, guys, what a week it's been, and we're only halfway done. As you know, the past few sessions have been very, very busy for me from a trading perspective. Today was no different as far as action is concerned, but it was different in terms of how I felt taking those actions, specifically in buying all the longer term calls. These past 2 days have felt highly uncertain when it comes to identifying a potential bottom for growth stocks due to the flurry of earnings reports we had yesterday. Now that the majority of those highly anticipated reports are over, there are little fundamental headwinds on the horizon. I personally believe that this storm is closer to being over than not. Nice little picture of the silver lining. Get you optimistic, get out of the gloom and into the soon. It also felt much better considering the profits from those Tesla puts. Again, let me know in the comments down below if you guys have been on board with me with those Tesla puts. Gave us some extra dry powder to work with. The fact that Tesla is down 7%, while names like Matterport, Roblox, and SoFi are up well in the green, made for quite the lucrative day in the Waves portfolio. Little hint in, those are the names we're going to be covering right here, with Tesla and Coinbase to just, sandwich in that green with the red. Okay, today I didn't feel as if I was attempting to catch a falling knife. I felt as if I was salvaging a shipwreck at the bottom of the ocean for buried treasure. And as I mentioned in the Trade Alert newsletter, I'm very proud of my bounty. Going along with this analogy, these ships are still smoldering. It's unlikely that they'll be salvaged immediately, but the bones of these ships are worth saving, and they'll be pulled from the water eventually. I'll let you smart cookies decode that one for yourselves. Okay, so that was a fun analogy. I was pretty stoked when I thought about it, honestly, but I thought it worked perfectly and it was very appropriate for what we're going to be talking about. Those names again, you guys. Coinbase is the primary name that I was analogizing there. Coinbase is down to $53. Coinbase is currently sitting at like an $11 billion market cap, which is absolutely insane. And Coinbase, I do still believe that this will be a great company. This is a company of the future, and they will navigate their way through this, considering they pretty much have no competition on the U.S. front, and if the government allows cryptocurrencies to be legal over the course of time, unless the government makes cryptocurrency illegal in the U.S., then that is the nail in the coffin for Coinbase. That's a death sentence for Coinbase. But in the case that they keep it legal, I'm optimistic that will be the case and the reality of the situation. Coinbase is the easy number one. Coinbase obviously definitely has the most regulatory framework around them, and I believe in them long term. So this video isn't about Coinbase though, okay? I made that yesterday's video about Coinbase. This video is going to be about Matterport, SoFi, and Roblox. The reason for that being, while the rest of the market's bled out, almost every name, almost every ticker symbol on the watch list is in the red. Again, Coinbase down 26%, Coinbase was pretty much down 50% just in the past couple of sessions, which is insane. Tesla down 8.5% to close out the day. The NASDAQ, the S&P, the NASDAQ down. Every name, growth stocks even, are down. But Matterport, SoFi, and Roblox were up today. SoFi bounced. SoFi sold off significantly following their earnings report. So did Roblox. But Roblox at one point was up 20% today. Roblox, I mean, shout out to you guys if you got in that trade with me as well. These are great companies, you guys. And although the earnings reports were scary up front, investors are really digesting them and realizing that these companies, even though their earnings weren't amazing, these companies have gotten slaughtered so hard that even mediocre earnings are good earnings relative to their share price. And Matterport is a completely different story because Matterport just pretty much crushed every metric that analysts had set for them. So Matterport smoked earnings. Matterport right now is one of my favorite stocks. Like, I'll say right now, if I was probably to just set and forget one stock, these three are all great options. I'd probably, if I was to just set it and forget it with one stock right now and just look away and just go on my merry way for 6 months to a year until the market recovers, Matterport would probably be that stock. Matterport and SoFi are definitely my top two right now. But again, you guys, the fact that these three weathered the storm so well while everything else bled out shows that in the case the markets do bounce, it's probably likely that these outperform the rest of the market. And even in the case the markets see more downside, they prove themselves. And again, you do it once, it's pretty likely you can do it again. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. And these three are personally my favorite stocks in the entire market right now, okay? Let me know if you took advantage, once again, of the downside we saw today. Let me know what you're sharking, what you're feeding on in these bloody waters, what the feeding frenzy for you is. And yeah, look forward to seeing what you guys have to say down below. And again, you guys, times like these suck, but they're necessary if you want longevity in this game. And it takes a strong stomach and some callus on the face. You got to get slapped in the face a couple of times if you want to stay around in this game, especially if you want to be a winner in this game. Like anything else, you got to deal with the hard times to appreciate the good times and understand how to navigate every situation that is thrown at you, because scenarios like these, they are completely out of your control. And when you learn how to control your emotions, when your external environment is kind of, again, throwing you curveballs, that is really what separates the good from the great, okay? Or, I mean, the bad from the good from the great, depending on your skill level in those realms, okay? So we'll call it a day, you guys. I'll talk to you downstairs in the comments. Again, if you guys want to know exactly how I'm trading on a day-to-day basis, you want to know exactly how I'm trading these three stocks, the calls, I have so many call options open right now. And also some put options on Tesla. You guys already know that. But if you guys want to know exactly how I trade on a day-to-day basis, and if you guys want one of these bad boys in your email inbox every trading day during market hours, it's pretty unlikely that I will be posting a video, another video this week. So if you guys want to know how I play it through the rest of the week, what my thoughts are going into the weekend of probably what's been the craziest week I can recall in the markets since maybe the crash, maybe ever in the markets, honestly, for me personally. Been in the markets for about a decade. I can confidently say this week has been the craziest, and definitely the most just chaotic. So if you guys want to know anyway how I'm playing the rest of this week, again, that's $15 a month or $40 for every 3 months. That's the first link down below. I mean, I feel this let the portfolio speak for itself. I feel this is very worth it. The portfolio itself can pay itself off. The newsletter is just this, I would say, is worth $15 a month. But of course, I'm biased. I write it. I put a lot of time into it, and I think it's pretty damn good. So you be the judge of that for yourself. Again, that's the first link down below. It means a lot if you guys check it out. Join the next level up of the Waves fam. But if not, no worries at all. I appreciate you watching, and once again, I'll catch you in the comments down below. Till next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.